Croeso nôl, muy bon dias, and welcome back to another riveting episode of the Finca Ymdrech Diaries. Well, it's the 23rd of June, 24th of June I think, something like that, Sunday anyway. It's 6:30 and I'm out with the dogs. It's blinking hot here at the Finca these days. It's been a while since I've posted a video, and there's lots of people who've been asking me where I am and when's my next video. Okay, nobody's been asking me for my next video, but here it is. So most of this footage is quite old and a little bit behind the times really, because I haven't, with the days being so long, I don't sit down early enough to do any editing. As most of you will know, because I saw you last month, I travelled back to the old country. Most of the time I was there, the weather was miserable. I did nothing but get spoilt by my mother and catch up with my sleep. Even my phone congratulated me on my sleep. But on the last day there, the sun came out and I could see my mother's garden in all its glory. Soon time to catch the bus. It's been years since I've been on a bus. I'm sure the leg room's got a bit smaller. Looking out of the bus window, it's easy to see what the results of all that rain in the Welsh countryside, well, can't be beaten I don't think, on a sunny day. Crossing the Severn Bridge is like being on a school trip. And seeing the old bridge in the distance reminded me that when we were on the school trip and crossing that bridge, then you thought you were going somewhere. We weren't long getting to Bristol Airport. I haven't flown from Bristol Airport for 10 years or more. Changed a lot since then. Duty free. Like a lot of airports now, Bristol Airport can't decide whether it wants to be an airport or a shopping centre.
those passengers who have just joined us, good afternoon and welcome aboard this Ryanair flight FR4440 taking to Valencia. If Valencia is not your intended destination, please identify yourself to remember the cabin crew.
Following morning, the boss not one to like to see me idle. She had my chores ready for me and she soon had me cutting grass and weeding. They've eaten at least 3 onions from there, and people will tell you that grasshoppers don't eat onions. Bugger, it's gone. Before going back to Wales, I planted this with, I think it was 20, possibly 30 peas. I've got one left, but that's in quite bad condition. Something I ate them all. The bed was a bit tidier than this. I've mulched it since coming back. And also in between my tomatoes, I planted 30 dwarf beans. Apparently dwarf beans do very well planted between the tomatoes. The tomato scent is supposed to with bugs. And the beans come quicker than the tomatoes. So I got one left. Something I had every one of them. You can see my aubergines being attacked, but not. This one is doing quite well. This one has been a picnic for quite a few things. This one has had the middle shoot, leader, whatever it's called, eaten out of it. And this one is, well, it's there, but you can see it's been attacked every night. Now, there's not much you can do about grasshoppers, apparently. Some of the pesticides that allegedly work aren't available to, the amateur user like me. I don't really want to be using them. So we've been spraying. If you listen to Google, they say that garlic oil is as good as any pesticide. Well, I've been spraying garlic, and it's well, the results speak for themselves. Now, my garlic, I thought turning brown was an indication of the fact that they were due to be harvested. But in fact, we've got what they call garlic rust. Focus. So what I've been doing is picking off the affected leaves. I haven't done it for a couple of weeks now, and soaking them in boiling water, adding a bit of oil to them, and then spraying it over everything else as a pesticide. It's to be honest, it smells bad in here. But my garlic, I thought they were useless, but I don't know if you can see, but there are reasonable sized bulbs on quite a few of them, so I might have a crop yet. But anyway, I'm here to tell you now that it doesn't deter grasshoppers. Yesterday I went to the market to replace some of the, I've got peppers in this bed, not as many as I've planted because they keep disappearing. So I went to the market yesterday and I bought, I can't remember how many, but there's 6 of this one variety. This one has survived the night. This one was a a good midnight snack for something. And bearing in mind it's planted this close to an onion, which is supposed to be to deter pests. This one is ruined. They've eaten right. Something has eaten right through the stalk of it, so that won't come to anything. This one the same. Something has eaten right through. Where are you? Right through the stalk there, and it's folded in half, so that's essentially dead. This one, same. In fact, it isn't the same. There's still a centre in that one, but they've eaten the lead leaf. This one, you can see something is raised through the stalk. The piece was there, but Julie's just moved it. So, well, I wasn't intending doing a garden tour, but we just as well now that I'm here. Most of my grapes doing okay. These ones are from cuttings. They're doing okay. And my neighbour's going up in his tractor. I don't know him. Spraying by the look of it. This bed is empty at the minute. There was onions in it, but it's ready for, I want to plant some pickling onions in this. They're a bit, well, they're a bit young to go out yet. This one, I planted the edges yesterday with onions in the bid to, be a defense against pests. I've got some seedlings I want to plant in the middle later on. I've got some tomatoes at the end. This one, I got some full-size sweet corn, which is doing okay. And the rest of the bed, I've got some, I'm going to plant some baby sweet corn in there, but it's, well, they're too young to go out yet. Guaranteed they'll disappear quicker than I can say, well, quicker than I can swear. So this bed used to have potatoes in it. There's still a couple up there. We've been eating the potatoes. Really speaking, our potatoes need harvesting now. Skins are setting on them, so they're not growing much. But you know, I've got nothing to go in this bed, and they just as well stay there. We've been eating them directly from the ground. In fact, I've been eating from the ground for months. Been pinching, so there were potatoes in here. We've harvested most of this bed. I got some onions at the end. And yesterday I bought and planted what I think is sweet potato. It's a bit limp because, as I said, you buy them in a bunch. So I think it's sweet potato. In honesty, the Google Translate word on the label didn't translate to sweet potato, and the lady on the stall didn't have a clue what I meant, and there was too much of a queue behind me for me to start showing the pictures. So they've survived the night. I've been chasing grasshoppers about like a demented fool this morning, but they've survived the night. So these grapes are, as I said, from cuttings. Planted them last year. They're coming on okay. I'm picking. I've been picking the grapes off them before they develop, just to give the plants a chance to develop. So my main grapevines are in rude health. Not fully leafed up yet. Our season's a bit funny. It's a cherry festival next week, and there's no cherries on the trees because of the weather. But you can see I've got lots of grapes coming. You know, really speaking, I should have cut these back much harder than I did. But I growing them more for a bit of privacy, to be honest. I haven't achieved that yet because it's still very see-through. And more garlic. I think this one's about a month behind main garlic bed over there. Again, I've got what I think is called garlic rust. This bed's got some garlic in it as well. Some onions in here. This is what we should be picking some of these onions up now. They say to harvest them when they start falling over, but I'm finding because of the weather so funny, they go to seed very quickly, but you know, they're decent onions. Some strawberries, not great. This little orange tree was one of the few remaining trees alive when we bought the property. You can see that where the rabbits had a go at it. And this is, I grafted a bit of lemon. I grafted a lemon bud here last spring. And this is by far the strongest branch. Got some lemons starting to form now on my orange tree. My father gave me some rhubarb seeds. Now everybody says that rhubarb doesn't grow very well in Spain because of the heat. So I built a little bit of a raised bed, and we've got a shade over it from the sun. The trouble is, I don't know if you can see, focus. The ants are playing havoc with this for some reason. They were doing very well, but you know, we're really struggling with the ants. And again, people will tell you that ants don't bother with healthy plants. Because my compost, my dirt is so, well, poor, we put the cardboard on in a bit to retain some moisture and keep the weeds down. Now it's worked okay in the rhubarb bed. Hasn't worked quite so okay on my melon cages. It looks like, well, some sort of disaster zone that you see on the news. And as far as melons are concerned, well, we had melons. I planted 40 melons and some squash and some cucumbers, and basically I've got empty spaces because they've all been eaten. Cardboard got wet, then the wind came, blew most of the cardboard away. My soil is quite coarse. It's probably, I wouldn't say probably, I believe it to be full of nutrients, but it doesn't retain any moisture, hence the cardboard. I can see the cardboard looks terrible. So we've got some melons, but they're appalling, to be honest. I had to buy some yesterday in the market. So in the spaces where the melons have been eaten, I've planted some beans. Now, believe it or not, I bought this bean yesterday at this height. You know, they're a good 500 mil tall, and the root ball on them is, well, it's in an egg cup. Hopefully they're tall enough now not to be bothered with. There's a squash there on the end. It's back in the trend. It's doing okay. That's a melon I bought yesterday. The seedless melon. Somebody might be able to explain to me how they grow melons without seeds. And I think that's another one I bought yesterday, although I can't be sure. But as you can see, my beds were every other on an upright, and then sort of I had one melon there, then I would have planted another one there. So I can't remember the sums, but there was lots of melons. Not all melons, there was squash, some cucumber, and pumpkins as well, I think. They've gone, essentially. These damn things are a nuisance too. I don't know what they are, but look at them. All these things conspire to eat my plants. Again, this looks more like a rubbish tip than the garden. But there would have been a melon there, gone. There is a melon there, doing very poorly. There's a melon there, doing very poorly. And there's a melon there that might as well not be there. In the middle of here, I got some tomatoes I grew from seed, and some cabbage. Now, strangely, the cabbage, barring a bit of a lace effect there, is not doing too bad. But I daren't put it in the ground because it won't survive the night. This bed again has got a couple of squash back in the trend, and these are all squash, not melons in this bed. So but this shows you the planting I would have had. One there, one there, one there. Not doing very well at all. Very yellow, look like they want a good feed. But it's been so cold here by Spanish standards that things are well behind. So I need David Attenborough here to show. These are my nemesis. As a child, I liked grasshoppers. As an adult, I don't. These things, they're supposed to only eat dead vegetation. But to be fair, that melon there, or squash, doesn't look like it's insect damage. It just looks like, well, it looks like my ground isn't good enough, to be honest. The dirt. So these aren't looking, well, they're not looking well, but they're looking better than anything else I've got. Again, by the yellow, I'm no expert. They look like they want a good feed. We've got a bit of a raised bed going on here, which is mostly planted with basil. It's supposed to be for herbs. We've got some basil. Now, again, basil is supposed to be a deterrent against insects, but nobody's telling the insects. You know, the one there that's gone, again, overnight. And there was about 6 basil plants disappeared entirely overnight. Got some strawberries here as well. All very new. There's a strawberry that the boss missed. Again, my father gave me a tayberry plant, or my mother gave me a tayberry plant. It doesn't like Spain. I've put a shade behind it to keep the sun off. It's got plenty of water, but I put this thing there for it to climb up, full of optimism, but it's not going to climb up it. I think it's clinging on, but it's not doing very well. This is one of my fig trees. On this fence line, we got figs, but as I've said in the previous video, have grown from cuttings from Swansea. They're doing okay. Again, this is an pre-existing citrus tree. I think it's a tangerine, but I did graft a bit of lemon on there last year, and again, that's by far the healthiest part of the tree. So these are the first lemons of this graft, and there's some new ones coming here. I cut all these grapes off to the ground. I thought I'd kill them and just encouraged one stem. As you can see, it's didn't kill them. Now the fence line, I'm training trees along the wire. Now mostly trees I've grown from pips from when that I saved when I was driving the lorry back and forth. So this is, judging by the leaf, an apricot. I say mostly. This is one of the kiwis I bought. This is the female one. This again looks like apricot, judging by the leaf. Now, I don't know what sort of apricots they'll grow, because when you grow things from pips or stones, they tend to grow from the rootstock. So I'm probably going to have to graft some of the, like that tree there is an apricot tree that I bought. So I may well have to graft some scions off that onto this, but this is too young for me to do that yet, I feel. Again, another one grown from pip. That looks more like peach to me. There's another one of the kiwis I bought, which is not doing terribly. Another one from pip. Look. Again, another what I believe to be apricot. I can never say it in Spanish. It's something like alboroque or I can't say it. This is my white seedless grape that I bought, which is doing okay. Unlike the red seedless grape I bought, which is doing bugger all. I bought another female kiwi to keep company to the one on the bottom, and this was in rude health. Looks dead now. Don't know what happened to that. This is one of the original male kiwis you saw me planting. This is a fig tree that I initially was just going to let grow as a tall tree, but then I decided to cut it back and to grow across these wires. So when you cut them, you hope that you're going to get 3 new shoots, so you can go one to go left, one to go right, and one to go up. So we'll see. I thought I'd kill this one, to be honest. It's this is my front boundary border onto the busy main road, and I'm growing pomegranates as a hedge here. So I'm bending them over as they get tall to try and fill the gaps. So we've got buds on here. This little tree is a nispero. I'm not sure what the English word is. That's grown from a pip. And then I've got 2 almonds. Now, I'm told I was overwatering the almonds and I set them back quite a bit. So I've removed the irrigation from those. Now this is one of my expensive walnut trees, which is alive. Barely, but still dormant. If it stays dormant much longer, it will be dead, I think. Judging by the leaf of this is another apricot planted from seed. Another something planted from seed. Got a mulberry. This is flat peach, donut peach. One of my new walnuts is doing very well. This was very, very late blooming, which is why I haven't given up on the other one. There wasn't a leaf on this and I went back to the UK. I've been home now 10 days. Another mulberry, not doing quite as well as the other one. This is a pear that's doing quite well. One of the new ones. Had a bit of leaf burn, we didn't have a winter essentially. It was very, very mild winter. Although high management tends to disagree. We mild February, March then went freezing and with some really cold winds. And April got very warm, so the seasons are all messed up. So the trees came, but when the leaves were very young, we had bitter winds for days. So this has suffered a bit of leaf burn. At least I think that's what it is. What are you doing, Izzy? I see you, I see you. So this is the walnut tree that I'm pretty sure went in dead. There's another pear tree, but strangely hasn't got leaf burn. Been eaten, but no leaf burn. This, I can't remember what it is. Again, this one is not doing too bad. Can't remember, judging by the leaf, it's apricot, but I can't be sure. I've got a list somewhere. Again, I've got this tethered to try and coax it into the open leaf pattern that's popular. Was a mango, didn't survive the winter. I think this is a cherry. Again, I've got some sticks on it to try and train it into an open leaf, open vase. Get off there, you bounder. This is a little peach tree. Now I tend to pull most of the fruit off because look at it, poor thing is hardly bigger than a matchstick. I want the tree to develop, so I'm pulling. I can't bring myself to take them all off. And my apples really don't like it. These are Fuji apples, which I thought were warm climate apples, but again we didn't have any winter, so I didn't think these were going to wake up. And this one blossomed a good month before this one, so they didn't have a pollinator. Not that I would have let them have any apples at this stage, because again, look at them, they're like sticks. These are the second year now I've had them, and they put on quite a bit of growth last year, and I cut them back. I don't know, I don't think they're going to put on much growth this year. This is a little lime that a few videos ago I said was doing nothing. It's quite healthy now. I keep forgetting how many barbs these citrus have. This little tree is doing well. This is the second year for me to have this tree. I can't remember what it is. Buenos dias. My neighbor Julio going up. This is doing. It looks like a peach, but it could be anything. I can't remember. This is something called an Australian finger lime. Not doing fabulously. I don't know why. This tree didn't have a leaf on it the day before yesterday. I'm thinking cherry, but I'd have to look at my list to find out what it is. Again, this grew like billio last year. I cut it there and there, and I've got a brace across it to try and spread it out. This is a little lime quat. Oh, and a snail. Get off there, snail. Now there's only one fruit in it this year, and last year we had about 6. They're very nice. This little avocado tree, when I bought it, was fully leafed. Then we had those gold wings that I told you about, and look, the sticks are burnt, leaves are burnt, and pretty much all the leaves fell off. So I don't know whether that's going to make it. This little peach tree, punching above its weight, I would say. Tiny stick of a tree. and lots of peaches, and I'm pulling loads off. Like, oh, this I can't. I prefer it use its energies growing this year than producing peaches. They won't be there. Another Nispero that we grew from stone. Another one. This is a khaki. The English word escapes me, I'm afraid. This is a little citrus, dubious origin. I was given 3 little plants in paper beakers, and that's what it's up to so far. Another peach. Again, I should probably pull these peaches off to give the tree a chance. Look at it, poor thing. I think this is cherry. Again, last week this didn't have a leaf in it. Very, very late coming out. This apricot tree, on the other hand, is my biggest tree. It's taller than I am. This is a little walnut that we grew from a stone. It's been fine. It's not dead, it's green and it's flexible, but it's dormant. If it doesn't come out of dormancy soon, it will be dead, obviously. The buds, I don't know what's the matter. It's, what is it now? 20th of May, 21st of May, something like that. So that ought to be in leaf now. This is another one of those 3 citrus I was given in plastic beaker, paper beaker. So it's probably a tangerine, and this is the last of those. Comes as a surprise to most people. The thorns on citrus trees. Look at them. Horrible things. This is a lemon tree, one that I bought. And this is a mango. Again, the cold winds and by Spanish standards, weather is not doing. I only bought this the week before I went back to the UK. So, I don't know. Jury's out. If that one dies, I'm not buying any more mangoes. It's one of those things. It's the weather's on the cold side of optimal for things like mangoes. They're a tropical thing. And on the other hand, we're not getting enough cold for apples. And last but not least, this is a little date, which again we grew from pip. We've got the wrong ground conditions for dates. They like well draining ground, but it's it's hanging in there. Maybe one day. I've got another one here that's, well, you'd have to use your imagination. There was another one there. They grow very well from pips, but they die very easily. So I had intended to do a garden tour today, but I wanted to show the devastation that the insects are causing. And here we are. Oh well, I better get busy and do some tidying up. Well, thank you for watching till the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.